Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Let's Have a Pint. Today, we have America's original pumpkin ale from Buffalo Bill's Brewery out of Hayward, California. It is a pumpkin slash yam beer, 6% alcohol by volume, 12 IBUs. Gets an average rating on Untappd of 3.33. The description on Untappd reads, since its inception in 1985, America's original pumpkin ale has become a fall tradition. Much of Buffalo Bill's acclaim originates from this beloved autumn brew, made with real pumpkin and spices. It has a golden amber color and the sweet aroma of warm pumpkin pie. Out of bottled water, so I got that. So we got a few things for this episode other than just the beer. It's darker than what I remember, but I haven't had this guy in about 5+ years. Alright, so not too much head. Small, tightly laced bubbles. Barely see through it. It is brown. It's like a brown ale in color. It's almost got a candy sweetness to the smell, but you can get like that pumpkin out of it. Almost like a saltwater taffy kind of smell. But I like that smell. Yeah, mostly like saltwater taffy or something like that, and some pumpkin flavor in there. That's weird. It's almost subtle but full flavored at the same time. It's not my favorite I've had. It's a little too much sweetness on the end. You definitely get that pumpkin pie, brown sugar and such on the end. It's more just straight pumpkin up front. But that's not that it's disappointing. It's not really disappointing. It's one of my favorite pumpkin beers I've had this year. But it by no means stands up to the Samuel Adams, or not the Samuel Adams, the Dogfish Head pumpkin. I didn't get the Sam Adams pumpkin this year. Let's see, that one I missed. There's another one I didn't get. Upslope, I want to say. I do have one more in there. I actually don't think I ever found the whole hog one either, unless that's in there too and I'm being crazy, but that I think would be in bottle, and which would mean I know I don't have it. So I only have 3 different things in bottle. Well, 4, because I have a single bottle. That's going to be a big, nice beer. But I really enjoy this. It's, like I said, it's probably my second favorite of all the pumpkin beers. I do have my college football top 25 for this episode. But I also have that, which I've been sipping on this for a little bit. It's beautiful. I'm going to tell you the availability is not going to be great. Uh, I got it for our, me and my girlfriend's anniversary, which I got kind of an unboxing for that as well. Uh, but what that is this beautiful bastard. I want that to be the thumbnail. It's a 25-year age Macallan rare cask Highland single malt Scotch whiskey. And it is nice. There's a thing here. Don't want to hit the beer either, though. So that's important as well. And that thing is hell to get in and out of there. So we're not going to do that. I'm going to save the unboxing here for the end. But yeah, the scotch is nice. I'm just sipping it between beers. And I've missed having a scotch. But I gotta get a cheaper one to put in my decanter. And this beautiful one will be for me. Maybe for some special people in my life that enjoy it. But if you don't enjoy scotch, I would not give it to you. And here's the thing, I am not into scotch like I am beer, but I do enjoy scotch, and scotch is my favorite liquor, hard liquor. It's really the only thing I drink that's hard liquor. I enjoy scotch. I mean, I enjoy some whiskeys, but bourbon in particular. Other than that, wine is pretty good. Beer is beautiful, though. But other than really this, any sort of whiskey, which this is a version of whiskey. For whiskey, you know, I always prefer scotch or bourbon. But for mixed drinks, I do like White Russians, and I do like margaritas. But it's few and far between. I haven't had either in over a year, so. Granted, it had been over a year since I had scotch. So, but anyways, top 25. Number one's the same as always. 2, same as always. You know, we got Alabama, we got Clemson. 3 is still Michigan. Notre Dame moves to number 4 with the Ohio State loss. That was a pretty bad loss for them. LSU's at 5. They enter the top 5. UCF I have at 6. Georgia 7. Washington at 8. That was a pretty good win for Washington against a tough Colorado team. Oklahoma at 9. Ohio State dropped all the way to 10. Got Florida at 11, which I think is what they were last week. Penn State's, I believe, still at 12. Texas, I believe, still at 13. Same with Wisconsin at 14, and I think Kentucky was at 15 before, as well as South Florida and Iowa State at 16 and 17 apiece. Here's where it changes. I have finally gotten West Virginia into the rankings, but they're only at number 18. And I got Texas A&M at 19, which I might have had them there last week. Jumped Washington State into the rankings at number 20. Oregon is still hanging in there at 21. Stanford is still hanging in at 22. Iowa has jumped up to 23. Utah enters for the first time as well for me at number 24. And I rounded out with still having them ranked Colorado. I think that after Washington, they're not going to have another game they lose. I think, what do they have? 2 losses now? I think that's what they're going to remain. They're going to be 10-2, I think, on the year. Could be wrong, but I am high on them. Kentucky, I think, will have a couple more losses, but I think they're fine. And like I said, my justification last week for Iowa State, they are not the team that played the first 3-4 weeks of the year. These last 2 weeks, it has been a different team out there. It has clicked, just like this weekend. It finally clicked for Nebraska. No, Minnesota is not a good team. But we were supposed to barely beat them because we're not, we weren't expected to be, to, be anything by the time, but at this point in the year. Beginning of the year, we were expected to be better than what we are. But we're where we were supposed to be at this point. Most of their points came in the third quarter. 20 of their points came in the third quarter when they had switched quarterbacks, and we had to figure out how to scheme around a new guy. Which I'm not gonna say we're great or we're even good, but there is a possibility of winning out. The only tough game left for Nebraska is Ohio State, and Purdue just showed that they're easily beatable. Blowout beatable. You don't have to be a good team to beat Ohio State. And you can say Iowa, but I will never say that Iowa can beat Nebraska. They have the last few years, but I think they've gotten their last shot at Nebraska. But, anyways. We're gonna shut that computer and move it because this thing is gonna take up a lot of room. Ow. I know this isn't a great way to do beer, but for someone like me, who has never brewed before in my entire life, this is not a bad way to start out and get my feet wet. I hope she didn't spend much on this. I don't know how much this thing is. I know some of these can come as cheap as like $50, but we shall see. I kind of want to, but I feel like I would screw it up. I feel like I want to try and do a sour in this, but an American Wild. It's a form of sour that's not necessarily sour, but we're gonna do an unboxing of this bad boy. All right. Somehow that's got hair on it already. And I'm not going to have technical names for any of the shit. I've seen it all. So I've watched people brew beer. I know what all's in here. But I wouldn't have technical names for all this stuff. I know what this is. It's jug. Oh. And then we have a nice, useless cork. It looks like... It can't be a cork. Why is it? Just sitting in our apartment, does that cost this... Is it... There's so much cat hair that it just goes right through cardboard? It's not in our drinks, so... Or in our food. That's weird. Like, this thing, whatever this thing is, it's dirty. If anybody knows what the hell this is, because if that's supposed to be a cork, I don't know. I don't feel like it should have an opening in the middle, but it'll be interesting to brew my own beer. if it comes out successful enough that it's palatable, I will review it on the channel. There is gauze around the sanitizer. Keep out of reach of children. Is that yeast? Yep, and the yeast. What are you? Perle, used for bittering, so it's a hop. Alpha 7.5% acids. Add to boiling wort and start timing for a 60-minute boil. Wonder if I could do a 60-minute IPA here. I mean, it says it on the box. It says it makes a pale ale. Luna, that is not a box I am going to allow you to get into. I know you love boxes, and I know you love getting into boxes. And I know you're curious. But little lady, this is not a box for you. Brias Pilsen Light. Dried malt extract. I'm not excited about extract, but you can get my feet wet. Oh, and there's another thing of, oh, I know this name more than Perle. Cascade, used for aroma. Alpha 7% acids. Alright, don't get in there. Is this like barley? It doesn't have anything on it. I mean, we have malt extract. This kind of looks like barley. What we got? Cascade there. And showing you all this stuff. It's made me realize we didn't really get a good look at the bottle. Did you get a good look at that? It looked kind of blurry. We got yeast, sanitizer, craft brew. Well, now I've made a mess on the table, and I am excited to test it out. It's basically what you find at a brewery. Much, much less intricate. You're not going to start a brewery out of a box like this, but it's exciting. It's a great first step. Oh, I'm getting old for this shit, though. It's all. Oh. Still, like I said, it'll be exciting. I didn't get her anything nearly as exciting. Tomorrow we're going down to Lincoln for our anniversary, which is technically tomorrow. We did gifts yesterday because she had to work today. She won't be home till midnight. And we leave at 9 in the morning tomorrow for Lincoln. Stay there overnight and then come back. It's the only vacation we could afford this year. Look for this week reviews for Saliva's new album, 10 Lives, and Arson City's new album, Hell of a Ride. Jesus Christ, why is that so hard? I like Hell of a Ride a lot, but we'll talk about it. I do like Saliva's more, though. But those two reviews will come this week. I think other than that, I don't have anything planned. So this will be coming up tonight because I'm not gonna be able to do it the next 2 days. And then probably Thursday I'll do both those, so expect 2 videos on Thursday. Would I get this again? Yeah, it's one of my favorites that I've had this year that are of the pumpkin variety of things. What would I rate this? I'll probably say 4-star beer. I'll go with 4 stars. Now, I don't know what beers I'm going to do with those 2 reviews, but that'll be fun and exciting for you guys on Thursday to look forward to. So, until next time, Prost.